Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
There's another snag in the road to create new districting maps in the area of Detroit. A group has asked the court to reject a recently redrawn House map. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Pamela Osborne. Will Jones is on assignment. Michigan's Independent Citizen Redistricting Commission has spent weeks redrawing several districts that were deemed unconstitutional by a panel of judges. New maps were submitted last week, but one group is saying not so fast. Jacqueline Francis is live for us today after speaking with folks involved in this fight. Get us up to speed, Jacqueline.
Pam, so earlier this year, as you said, the court ruled that the voting maps were unconstitutional for diluting the black vote. So the commission redrew those maps. But now one of those maps is being challenged.
It's extremely disappointing to be working on this case now for more than 2 years and then to learn information that calls into question integrity and ethics from the commission once again.
Sherry Gay Dagnogo is a spokesperson for the plaintiffs objecting to the recently redrawn House map for the Detroit area. The saga has been ongoing, but the most recent chapter involves the group rejecting the map drawn by Michigan's Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission for 2 reasons. The first being the plaintiffs accusing the commission of not developing the map themselves, rather allowing an outside party to have undue influence.
It was a map that was developed by a member of the Democratic Socialist Association, their chair or electoral chair. And so that was a concern and had to be shared with all of our plaintiffs.
The second issue claims the redrawn map still gerrymanders, this time gerrymandering based on incumbency.
Based on the test from the expert, it showed that a high probability that the map had to be drawn with the intention of incumbency protection. And so understanding those 2 factors, our plaintiffs had to have a conversation and come to a place where we had an ethical obligation to uplift the fact that this was not a map that we could move forward with.
So that complaint has been filed with the court. The commission has about a week to respond. We reached out to the commission for comment today, but have not heard back. Reporting live tonight, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Jacqueline. Turning now to breaking news out of Westland. There's a large police presence on Van Born Road and Marshall Drive. At this moment, we aren't sure what police are responding to, but our crews on the scene found a car with its driver's side door open and surrounded by caution tape. We've made several calls to police. Right now, they can only confirm that there's some kind of ongoing situation happening there. As I mentioned, we do have a crew on that scene, and we're working to get more details. We'll let you know just as soon as we know more. Remember those 2 beautiful sunny days we had last week? Easy to forget because things have been dreary ever since. And Ron, I've been counting down the days until spring, but here we are talking snow again.
We're talking about the snow. We had the rain rolling in, Pamela, last night, and we had it this morning. It was a lot of it, but now, we're talking about a little bit of snow coming back. It's still winter time, even though we are springing forward tomorrow morning at 2 o'clock, becoming 3 o'clock. We are looking at downtown Detroit and Windsor right now. The temperature's 42 right now for Detroit and Ann Arbor. We're at 40, 41 for Port Huron. And then as we go into Monroe, it is 42 right now. So some cooler air toward the north. We have the 37 degrees and popping up as we get into our northern communities, also including us in Livingston County. Now, here's what we're seeing on a ZachTrack 4D radar. We're not seeing much right now. A couple of sprinkles popping up in some parts of the thumb, but we are okay with the shower activity as of right now. We have the cloud cover, but we have the snow and rain showers moving back into the area this evening. You see some of those snow showers right now over northwestern parts of the state. As you get into the Traverse City area, we will be seeing some of that snow and also gusty winds. In fact, a gale warning going to be in effect until Monday morning for portions of the area, including Sanilac County from the Port Sanilac area northward toward Port Austin. So here's what we're going to be looking at. The future forecasts coming up right now. We're going to be seeing those snow showers coming in later on this evening, popping up across the area, including for tomorrow. I'm going to talk more about what to expect for the weekend, as well as we get into next week. That's just minutes away. Pamela?
A 27-year-old man was shot and killed at a motel in Oakland County this morning. Police responded to the American Inn and Suites on West 8 Mile Road, in Royal Oak Township at around 10:20 this morning. When investigators arrived, they found a man already dead. Investigators secured the scene but say they have not been able to locate the suspect. We'll update you when any arrests have been made. A man who police say robbed a bank in Shelby Township is dead after a police standoff in Illinois. Police said last Thursday a man walked into a Bank of America on 23 Mile Road in Shelby Township and gave the teller a note demanding money and then ran away from the bank. The man was then tracked to a truck stop in Effingham, Illinois. The man barricaded himself inside a semi-truck, and after an 8-hour standoff, the suspect took his own life. We have an update on last week's fatal shooting at an Oakland County motorcycle club. One man has been charged with murder. Prosecutors say Malcolm Boykin shot and killed Charlie O'Deal after an argument at the Night Riders Motorcycle Club in Pontiac last Wednesday. Boykin is charged with multiple felonies, including second-degree murder. He's due back in court on March 19th. The Detroit Opera House opened their doors a little early today in hopes of helping a Saline woman in her journey with Alzheimer's. Lauren Wagner traveled all over the world as an opera singer, and in May of 2019, she was diagnosed. Megan Woods shows us how her tour not only brought back memories, but proved Lauren is still quite the soprano.
Today, the Detroit Opera House was seen as a beacon of hope for a family wanting to see their loved one perform one last time. That is the voice of Lauren Wagner, world-renowned opera singer. Her husband, Jeff, tells us her memory is fading.
Driving here, we were going over the music, and this morning I just came in dressed up. And she was having breakfast, and I said, "Well, Jeffrey, what's going on? You're all dressed up." And I said, "Well, we're going to the opera."
She's a memory care resident at Story Point Saline Senior Living, and staff thought this trip could really be comforting.
She can be found in our halls, always stopping staff and asking us to sing. And so I reached out to Mike, the marketing director at the Detroit Opera House, and asked if we could do a private tour, give her some stage time, and just let her connect to those memories.
To Lauren's daughter, Katie, this performance is bittersweet.
I think we tried to put all the conditions in place so that, Mom could kind of step into her voice, and to see her in her kind of full expression of herself. And I think we saw some glimmers of that, but that light is fading.
Between the music, laughs, smiles, and tears that were tough to hold back, it's clear this moment wasn't just for Lauren.
Today is a heart opener, actually, I think, for all of us.
There's still life to live, and that is something that I'm passionate about, in making sure that our older adults and our residents still live their life. So just being able to be here and give her that experience, it gives me goosebumps. I'm going to get emotional.
In Detroit, Megan Woods, Local 4.
And how lucky we are to have witnessed her light. Thank you, Megan, for sharing that incredible story with us. If you know someone or community or an organization that embodies our Go For It spirit, we want to hear from you. Email us at goforit@wdiv.com, or you can submit your nomination at clickondetroit.com. Still ahead, President Joe Biden signs a major government funding bill into law, but why the concerns over funding are still far from over. And more humanitarian aid is dropped by planes into Gaza as the situation on the ground grows more dire by the day. See how close negotiators are to reaching a ceasefire with the start of Ramadan now just hours away.